good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. My name is Jessie with Simply Refreshing Life. I'm a Christian life and mindset coach, and I love to do these videos just to come and share a little bit of encouragement to you. Now on Tuesdays, we're doing them in English every Tuesday around this time. I'm trying to stay as faithful to the time as I possibly can. Sometimes it might be a little earlier, but today is 10 o'clock here in Utah. So how are you today? How's everything going? If you never heard me before, this is the first time that you see me, I am as I said, a Christian life and mindset coach, and I like to just do vlogs and just come and chat with you and just give you some encouragement, because I think right now you scroll through this social media and all you hear is bad news and political news and things that can really bring us down. And so in my channel, I have proposed in my heart not to do any of those things, and rather just encourage you and just bring you a little bit of brightness to your day. So these videos are not very long. If you're interested in seeing more of these, or maybe sharing with your friends, you can go to YouTube. Simply Refreshing Life, that's a YouTube channel, and you can check it out. I've been doing this for a few months now. I don't know exactly. I think I started last spring, and there's quite a few there. And I was doing them every day at one point, but my schedule changed. And instead of coming to you all tired and, just with bluff because I just want to do this, I rather just do one, but just, bring you good content. And so that's what I'm doing now. On Thursdays, I'm doing it in Spanish. So if you have somebody who speaks Spanish and would like to share this, just have them tune in on Thursday morning, and I'll share the same message in Spanish. So let's get to this. Today, I want to talk to you about something that was honestly not in my plan. I had something else completely different to share with you this morning. And when I woke up and everything, I really felt a big tug to change my plans. And so, and it's exactly what I want to talk to you about. When God's plan is not ours. When we plan something and God changes that plan. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but it has happened to me quite often. And I don't know. I just most of the time I go with it. Sometimes, I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes I'm like questioning God's plan because I'm thinking it really doesn't make a lot of sense for me to change this plan. So I'm gonna go with it. And sometimes I listen. Sometimes I'm stubborn because I am stubborn, and sometimes I don't. And then I see the consequences because I thought, oh man, I think, I should have listened. I should have really listened to what God was trying to tell me right now. But, we all make mistakes, right? But today I decided to obey and just make sure that I do bring you this message that God put in my heart. And it's exactly that. When God's plans, it's not ours. Sometimes we have plans to do things and we plan it out really well. I actually talked to you a few weeks ago about when our plans don't go as planned, like when we make plans and they don't come out right. And so if you want to check that video, I think I did it a few weeks ago. You can go to YouTube again, and it says that when our plans don't go, the way we plan them. But today I want to talk to you about a little bit of different perspective on that. And when God changes our plans, when, we feel that big tug in our hearts that we should go in this direction instead of this direction, do we listen? That's the big question here. As I said before, most of the time I do listen, even though it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I do listen. But if you look at the Bible, if you know the Word of God, you know that God is not a God of, plans that make a lot of sense. And I can give you several examples. For example, when he called the people of Israel to march around Jericho, what was the strategy? Do you remember that story? They had to walk in silence for 6 days. And on the seventh day, or 7 days rather, walk around the city. They didn't have any, like, they were not ready for war on the day one. They walked around. That didn't really make a lot of sense, right? For an army that was about to go and conquer a city, to walk around the city in silence. And everybody's like ready for war, and then just walk around the city one time, and then the next day, the next time. If you haven't seen that story, if you haven't read that story, I encourage you to do that. It's in Genesis. It's amazing. How about, not in Genesis, I lied to you. Sorry, it's in Exodus. How about the story that I was reading not too long ago about Philip? So Philip was a disciple, and he was burning to go share the gospel of Jesus Christ. And he would, go to cities where there was a lot of people and go share the gospel. And one of those instances where he was, in this big city in Jerusalem, he was called to go to Gaza. And in Gaza, there was not a lot of people. And he was like, why do I have to go there? Like, there's not a lot of people for me to share the gospel with. But God had a plan. And the thing is, when he obeyed and he went to this place, he encountered an Ethiopian who was reading from the book of Isaiah and had no idea what he was reading. And Philip not only got the chance to share the gospel with this Ethiopian, but he also got to baptize him in the name of Jesus. And so there's a lot more examples. You can read the story of Gideon as well, how he went to war and how the war strategy did not make sense. There's a lot of stories out there that we know in the Bible that God makes plans that make no sense to us. Like, who does that? But God is that way. And sometimes we plan things and we do things, and God says, no, you need to do this other thing. And we're thinking that really doesn't make a lot of sense. Like this morning, I had something else planned, and I'm thinking, I don't know. I already talked about, when plans don't go our way. And I really, this happened actually last night. And I really wrote something else. And I thought, no, I'm not going to talk about that, because I've already talked about when our plans don't go, the way we planned it. I need to be obedient. And that's what we need to do. We need to be obedient. Proverbs 16:9 says, a person's heart plans his way, but the Lord determines his steps. We plan something in our hearts. We want to do something else, but God says, no, you need to do this way. Sometimes we're driving down, we're going home, or we're going to work or whatnot, and God says, you need to actually turn here, or you need to do this for me. And it might not make a lot of sense. Or talk to a stranger. For me, talking to strangers is the hardest thing ever. Let me see, I've been living in Utah for 4 years. So I want to say about 6 years ago, we went with our church to give out food to some of the neighborhoods. We had like Thanksgiving food, and we had Thanksgiving packets of food that we were going to give out. And so we went to several houses. We had like these red bags with Thanksgiving food. And as we got to one of the houses, the mom, one of the lady or the mom, came out with she had little kids around, and she was explaining to us how rough it has been, that, this Thanksgiving, she didn't really have a lot of food to give out, and she was really sad about it. And here we come with food. So she was really excited. And this is a stranger to me now. If anybody who knows me knows that I'm an introvert, and approaching people just in person like that is not in my character. But I really felt a strong pull to give her a hug, just hug her. And I really resisted. I was like, nope, I am not. She's gonna think I'm weird. I am not hugging her. And there were several of us, and we were with her, and some of the kids were outside, and she was telling us her story, and I kept hearing this, just hug her. And I was like, she's gonna think I'm weird, who just comes and hugs people just like that. And I was really shy about it, and I kept hearing this, I kept feeling this thing that she really needed a hug. So finally I gave in. After I was like, can you imagine a 3-year-old in the store going, no, I don't want to, like something like that, but inside of me. And so finally I hug her, and when I hug her, she started crying, and she was just, I could tell she just needed that hug. And I was obedient to it. But sometimes I have had that feeling and I don't go for it because I'm afraid. I'm afraid of what they're especially right now with the whole pandemic situation and things like that. I'm like, I better not. And, and sometimes we're like that. We're thinking, I better not. But God is telling us, or, giving us the direction that we have. And so we have to be obedient and we have to do what God is telling us to do. I also like Proverbs 19:21, when it says, many plans are in the person's heart, but the Lord's decree will prevail. And if you don't obey, if you say no, God will use the next person, and the next person will be obedient. So it better be you, because God will bless you when we go for that. Even if it doesn't make a lot of sense to us, even if at the moment we're like, no, I don't think this is right. I don't think this is right. But you feel that big tug in your heart. Have you ever felt that before? Tell me in the comments. If you're watching the replay of this video, tell me in the comments of that, and just let me know how God has changed that for you. And just, let me see how, bless me too with that, and share your experience with me, because it has been a big blessing for me when I do decide to obey. And when I don't, when I'm like just too much in my head and thinking this is not going to work out, it's not a punishment, because God doesn't punish me for not, but I just feel like I could have been blessed even more if I would obey. And so that's why I decided to obey this morning and say, you know what, I'm just going to share what God is telling me to share. Sometimes God's plans might not make a lot of sense, but in the end, when we decide to obey, we will see the blessing, and we will see how others get blessed, and we will also be blessed for that. So I hope this message blessed you today. In the link of this video, or in the comments of this video, there's some links for some freebies that I have, which is the mindset reset that I have, and I also have the self-care guide that I put together for you, and also the journaling prompts that I put together for you all. They're all free, so you're more than welcome to take advantage of that. It's good. It's good stuff out there. So you have a great day, and I will see you again next Tuesday with another vlog, and just sharing my thoughts, being of encouragement to you. And and just that's what I do. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.